something with the light.
Sorry, y'all. We having technical difficulties. Loud. God, it just don't look right. Sorry, y'all. Thank God nobody on yet.
It's still
What y'all think?
You was
Come on that
messing
other light, Stacy, and see. Oh my God, what is going on? Bring it up some, maybe.
It looks like they have a filter on the phone.
It don't.
It was something that
No,
you
like
had
pull
hit
it up.
earlier.
Huh?
Pull up and see how it's.
Oh yeah. Sorry, you guys. I ain't put no topic on the page or nothing. I just straight started. It's loading. Oh, it don't look too bad on here. Okay, it don't look bad, y'all. All right, sorry about that. Okay, so today, welcome to the Sip and Talk with Freema. And today we have here Jamal Richardson. He's a business owner, entrepreneur, Palmetto Pest Control LLC. Now, is that Keja? Keja Trading LLC and Attractions LLC, Club Promoter, Hustling Harder Promotions LLC. He's a go-getter. We also have Tasha Livingston. She's a business advisor working out of the South Carolina Department of Transportation's headquarters, a mother of 3 here in Orangeburg, South Carolina. We have Demetria Carter. She's a stay-at-home mom and a mother of 6 lovely children. Then we have Angela Simpson. She's a registered nurse. I can't talk. And I'm your host, Freema. So today's topic, and you know, we have on our little hats. I have on red, got a little red things, is we all know Santa Claus is coming to town, and I have been seeing a lot of, I'm not going to say controversy because that's not the right word, but a lot of people feeling like, why would I tell my kids this fat white man has been providing gifts, expensive gifts for my children, and I'm the one working? Well, I disagree, and that's just my opinion, but to get it started, I feel as though eventually they're going to know who brought the gifts for the children. I mean, that's just what it is. They'll appreciate it, say, oh, mom and dad been doing it for this whole time. Love you for it. You know, what have you. So how do you guys feel about it? And of course, we're not going to all speak at once. Anyone want to chime? Go ahead.
Okay. I feel that as African Americans and as Black parents, and I feel like it's confusing for our children. Ooh. For them to feel like a Caucasian, and I'm not racist by far, but I just have to be honest, a Caucasian man that's been providing gifts for years, coming down a chimney, sneaking in at night, they gotta have cookies and milk, and then he's getting all the credit. When in all honesty, the parents should be getting the credit for showing their children gratitude for a great job at school, expressing love, letting them know that we're here for them, and that we're trying to be the providers that we need to be to our children. So I honestly feel like that we should be honest with our children about the whole Santa Claus situation. Like, don't confuse your child, because...
So you won't even start off with Santa Claus?
I would not. Now, I'll tell you this. I have 2 children. My oldest, he'll be 15, and then I have a 1-year-old. So, the oldest one, I never even said anything about a Santa Claus, to be honest with you. I would put up the tree and, you know, put the gifts out and everything. I was like, oh, you know, look, it's Christmas morning, Jaden. Look what's under the tree for you.
Right.
I never said Santa brought it. I never said anything like that. He never wrote any kind of, you know, note or whatever out of gifts. I never mentioned it. And I'm going to do the same with this one.
Okay. Anybody else? How do you feel, Demetria?
I'm starting to feel differently because I have teenagers now, 14, 15, 16, and 17. Now, with those, at the time that he was 8 years old, the 14-year-old, mm-hmm. when he found out that it was no Santa from my boyfriend, he cried. He literally cried like a while. So I had to explain it or whatever. He was mad that I had been telling him it was Santa and it's no Santa. So now...
So he was mad at you for
telling pretty much, I guess, telling a lie, pretty much. Now, my 4 and 5-year-old, they know kinda because their dad has been telling them it's no Santa. At first I was kind of mad about it, but then the way he talked about it, it made sense to me. or whatever. Because my older kids said, "Oh, we been knew it wasn't a Santa, Mom. We just was going along with you because we wanted to get a lot of presents, and that was it." So I was like, "What?" So Kayla, the youngest one, who's 4, she was like, "Yeah, Mama, I know it's a fake Santa." And she's 4, so I'm not really.
Like we taking away
I'm not
from
pushing
the excitement. How do y'all feel about it?
Taking away from the excitement.
Oh Lord, yes, it's exciting to know that. Oh God, I gotta be good. Santa Claus is coming. You know, even with the Tooth Fairy, like, come on now, it's an imagination.
Yeah, but I mean, it's any of these customs or any things you get, like with the Easter Bunny or
The Easter Bunny.
Either you're gonna do it or you're not gonna do it. So you can't just. That's the problem I have with it. It's just like, all right. So what are we gonna replace it with? And what we do is Father Christmas. That's the term we use in my house. It's Father Christmas. You know what I mean? And but no, I don't believe in deceiving the kids with these. You know what I mean? Because these kids are easy to believe anything. So I don't think that that's appropriate. And as a black man, I don't see no white man coming in my home.
Oh my God, Tasha, how do you feel about this?
I didn't push it on any of my 3. But I kept in mind that they were going to go to school. That was going to be the theme. It was going to be in the books. You're going to have cookies with Santa Claus. And I try and put myself in the mindset of a 3-4-year-old, knowing that if I impose, no, mommy and daddy had to work hard and that's going to take a little bit away from that, like you said, that excitement. And so I let them have it. I mean, to me, like he said with the Easter Bunny, that's almost like the police. We grew up knowing if you ever get kidnapped or lost, you go to the first policeman you see. You don't tell a 4-year-old, be afraid of the police because they might shoot you. They might, you know, that's just something true. That has to be grown into. And so once they started to ask questions, I never tried, oh, no, there's a... Well, no.
Right.
You know, but I let them get to that point of
that approach would be... is because you have to consider the fact that, like you said, you could tell your child this and that, but then your child has to go out in the world and fend for itself during the day, and so everybody else is doing it. Now your child's become the outcast, the different child.
Right.
So you got to be mindful of it. It's a slippery slope. It's America.
I just don't see, like, one of the viewers asked, did your parents let you believe when you were younger?
I was raised by my aunt, and they all used to say, Santa's out there, the reindeer's on top of the house, y'all better go to sleep. And we would run me and my sister to bed. Well, one Christmas, we didn't hardly have nothing, and nothing I asked for. That's when I realized it was no Santa. So, you know, what if somebody is saying Santa, 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 and these kids are asking for this, and Santa's supposed to bring it? What if you just can't get it? Then what?
And I can't say that I remember my parents ever saying, you know what I mean? I don't think they gave a fuck. I mean, take your ass to sleep.
Right.
And, you know what I mean? Like, because, I mean, it's just, I see where it could become a bad thing, but, you know what I mean? It's just, you have to find that teaching point in it. You know what I mean? Like,
I just feel it's becoming a bad thing now. I wasn't hearing a lot about Santa Claus and why you telling your kids this until like recently. So where's all this coming from?
Everybody's pro-black now. It's just
right.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? So that's where all this is coming from. You'll see it Easter time, and then it was like, we've been a part of these cultures, we've been a part of these things. So
why now?
I don't know no other.
Is it making our kids grow up too fast? Because now we want to. You get what I'm saying?
No,
like,
that's,
you don't think so?
No,
I don't know. I mean, I want to answer that question,
okay.
And I want to piggyback off everything everyone else said. For one, when I was a child, there was no discussion about a Santa Claus. I knew that my parents and my family got those gifts. I just needed to go to bed so they can get it ready for me to wake up in the morning so I can go play with them. It was never this thing about a Santa Claus. And I respected them for that because I wasn't that heartbroken child when I realized there was no man coming in a suit. You know, even though I knew that as a child, and it also goes about your children and like what your children maturity level are, even though they could be 2 or 3 or maybe 4 or 5. It depends on how you talk to your child.
Right.
For them to be aware of these things. Well, I was one of those inquisitive children that when I found things out, I may not have said anything to other children, but I just knew like that's not true. So I just didn't feel bad about it. I was like, well, you believe that, and I believe this.
Yeah.
And then now in the new millennium, it's about to be 2020, and things are changing in the African American culture. Like, you know, we're doing more than we've ever done, more than our parents did and their parents did. So, you know, like, we're being exposed to more.
Right.
Our education has expanded, you know, reading and finding out knowledge about our true culture,
Right.
and where we came from and how we got here and those kind of things. So that has a lot to do with it, because when you know your true identity, you
That's
know
true.
you be enlightening, and that's where it comes into. It's the new millennium of what we're teaching our children.
That's what
Okay.
And it's up to us to share what we've learned, enlighten them, and say, well, you go to school, this is what's in this book. Like Natasha said, this is what's in the book, this is what they're going to do. But however, I want to tell you, it's more to the story, and gradually do it in bits and pieces. Or when those questions come about, you set your child out and tell them the truth.
Right.
And you having people running across different things on the internet now.
Yeah,
Right.
That's true.
There's a story that I heard years ago about Saint Nick.
Mm-hmm.
In Great Britain, England, and Saint Nick is the devil. You know?
My point, the origin of these characters.
I mean, and if you do just a research on, like, a source research on fairy tales, a lot of fairy tales that we grew up saying, you know, a lot of them got real sinister, dark beginnings. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Right.
That's true.
You have to know the
But
origins.
it's just like what you're saying. It's just with the we got access to more information now, so you know, that's the reason.
So I guess that answered my question.
But how about this? I was listening. Well, on the Breakfast Club about 2 or 3 weeks ago. It's a substitute teacher in New York. Got fired because the class started talking about Santa Claus, and she said it wasn't no Santa Claus.
I would have been mad.
So she got. I don't think she should have lost her job.
Don't sit. If I am a believer in Santa Claus, my household.
So you want to teach her to lie to your child?
But
No, it ain't up for her to tell.
But if all the
No,
other kids,
I'm sorry.
if
It's
some
not
kids,
up for her to ruin it for my kid. I'm
okay,
sorry.
so if some kids are saying no, it's not, and some kids saying yes, it is. What is it?
Then she just look, people. Let's get back to the lesson and let's come here what we came for.
I don't know. Not lose her job.
Well,
maybe somebody should have took her to the side and say, "Look, next time do it this way." But
There's
not
a lot
lose
of
her
parents
job.
out there that feel like I feel, and that's why she lost her job.
But however, here's the thing. Here's the flip side of this. So this woman lost her job.
For telling the truth.
For telling the truth. She's a substitute teacher. You don't know her situation. You don't know what she has to provide for her home, just as well as you having to provide for your children.
Okay,
You
so
don't
on
know.
another flip side, that can go way left, and I'm
Right.
going way left when I say this.
Right.
So some kid, I don't know what grade this teacher was teaching.
I don't know what grade.
Some kid really believes in Santa. Like, this is all his hope. This is the only time he ever gets something. Now he go home and commit suicide. And y'all know these kids are committing
It's his
suicide like
parents' fault.
crazy. I feel like that
If
teacher.
you let your child believe in some fantasy bullshit
Right.
that's strong,
Right.
then your ass and that child
Right.
needs to fucking...
Because you're gonna be investigated. Oh, were there problems in your home? What were you teaching your child?
Exactly. So
Where
now the
your
child hear the
parents
truth.
is-
No, Sarah!
No, where's your
But
parental
y'all know that could
guidance?
happen.
Where were you? Okay, let's be realistic. It could happen. But
It could happen.
How often would you think it would happen in our community? Let's be
It
real.
won't happen.
It'd
I'll
real.
be damned if my child sits here thinking
exactly. So that goes back to what we're teaching our kids. It starts in the home, and it's up to us, you know, to in our community to be able to tell our children the truth. Now it's up to you how you do it, when you do it, but however, don't give them this false perception.
I gave mine the false perception
Of these characters. Like every one of these characters with these holidays, you got to really do your research, like Jamal said,
That's
and
true.
really
I didn't
know
think of
what
that.
you believing in, because before you know it, you might be worshiping something that you have no idea what you're doing,
worshiping.
what you
That's
worshiping,
true. We
and you
already do
creating a lot of confusion
And why
in
do
your
you say
house.
that, though?
We are, and I agree with
Because
him.
we don't, like... That's another subject.
No, go ahead. This
No,
is an
because-
open discussion. It can go
because-
left,
because-
right, up, or down.
Because we follow these customs and we don't do any research on them.
Right.
Like a lot of us go to church every Sunday because Mama sent us
Mama
to church,
said.
and,
That's
true.
and we say these things, and you have a discussion with somebody about the Bible. Oh my God, that turns.
Oh, now
Controversial.
that go.
Yeah.
And you know why?
That go
You know
way
why?
different
You know why
ways.
that is? Because of a lack of knowledge. You know what I'm
Correct.
saying? Because if I back you in the corner now, you turn to violence or some other bullshit. You feel what I'm saying? Because
Right.
you can't defend your position.
Correct.
But you sit in church every Sunday.
That's right.
That's
and
true.
you profess this thing like, I mean, this is your soul, bro.
Right.
but then you don't take a minute to open the damn book and read it or question
and know what it's saying.
So that's why I can get a verse and give you that verse and make it mean any fucking thing I want it
and
to mean.
you live by it,
You
like
know what
it's
I'm
the all end all said all. And I do want to chime in on that, and then I want to go back to like the mystical things, because if you look at it, it's all about what you believe. So if you don't get out here and research for yourself, whether it's about these mystical characters for holidays, or whether it's about religion or spirituality or whatever you want to call it, if you go along with what everybody else is doing, you just don't know what you could be doing to your own soul. So everyone should be in charge of their soul. You know, and say, you know what? I need to.
That's like you got Pastor Wilson.
Exactly. I need to figure out why am I conforming to what everybody else is doing? Because if you do that, then it's like we all sheep. Like robots. Sheep. We all we like minions. We right there going along with everything else. So like, as in our community, we you know, this is me saying this,
but that way though.
We need to be able to really be honest with our children, you know, like be realistic, have those talks with them about these mystical characters, have these talks with them about what they believe for as spirituality, religion, but what they believe about, you know, anything that comes up a topic or a point. They need to know.
So you believe a child has the ability to decide what gender they are?
Now with that being said,
I feel like they know. I'm sorry, and I know we done took this to a whole nother level, but I feel like, you know, they say with this gay thing or this da-da-da-da, yeah, there's difference between bisexual, lesbian, gay, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, but I feel like these little people know when they're little. You can see it in them.
You can see it.
So that comes to say, are they born that way?
Well, here's another thing. If you do your research on that, and really know like the true origin of your soul and how it got here and how it got in the body, then you
I don't think I ever know that.
But you have to research. If you did your research, you'll understand there's masculine and feminine tendencies and things that were already in you. Like, for example, and I'm going to put this out here, and I don't know, this may step on some toes for those.
As long as it ain't incriminating you and your career.
Incriminating me, but it may step on some people's toes.
Step on them, girl.
But, however, you know, like, knowing your origin of how you got here. Like, knowing that when you die, your body, your flesh returns to where it came from. It turns to the dust it came from. But however, your soul lives on. So your soul has been here for years and years and hundreds of years. You don't know that. You don't know who you used to be. So when it returns, you return in a new body, new situation. But however, you're still in that same family. So you already have, it's a recycle. You already have in you who you were. So let's say
they were born that way.
Right. And in your past life, let's say, for example, in your past life, you were a man. But some reason you came along in your past life and you came back in the female version. So you believe in
reincarnation?
Yeah, I believe in reincarnation. So you were a male in your past life, and then when you came back, you were in a female body, but you still
That's why you like women,
right? You got these male things about you, your thoughts. You just knew, so that you can remember. You always had like the same sex, and you couldn't understand why people were judging you. But however, it's because that's who you already was.
That's an interesting point. I've never heard that perspective. That's
it makes perfect sense
to me.
So
it does.
Where it doesn't make sense to me is to me it comes down to, it's not a religious thing, it's not a thing, it's a survival thing. So if we all going to accept the fact that we're all a minority,
right,
the last thing any of us should engage in is anything that decreases our numbers.
That's right.
That's where I'm at it from. We're in a fight for survival, because in 2000 we became the third minority class citizen in our own country, a country that, as a lot of us think that we came from Africa, but if you do a little research, we were already here. Okay, we were already here. You don't go get somebody from a different land to come work a foreign land. You understand what I'm saying? You're gonna have to deal with somebody that's already knowing what's going on there. So
why they get Mexicans to come over here and
cheap labor?
So are you saying we have Indian origin too? You feel like we mix with African American and Native American?
I feel like the Indian thing has been misdefined, and I think that we are the original. The records show that we are the original Americans. Okay, like there were only about 400,000. You can check the records if you want to, of Africans that actually came from Africa that landed here. Most of the Africans ended up down in South America and the Caribbean, down in that region down there. So we were already here, okay, and they have documents of this. And why you ain't saying that?
I'm listening. True.
But back to the whole thing. That's where I look at it as the whole gay thing.
Right.
I just feel like, and because of some stuff that I've read, because of the internet.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
If you go and you look up Executive Order 10001, put out by Henry Kissinger, there was a plan to introduce homosexuality as an accepted lifestyle in the black community, because we were the first conservatives. You understand what I'm saying? Black people did not deal with that homosexuality or whatever. So there was a move to make it acceptable to where now it's okay. But I just look at it as an attack against my race. That's what I look at it
I don't feel that way. I feel like you can't help how you feel.
Excuse
like
me.
you can't help how, if you're a female and you like other females, you can't help that. Like, or a man, they can't help that, I believe.
I don't think it's genetically. I just don't think that I don't think it falls in the line of nature in life's order. You know what I mean?
Okay. I see what you're saying about that.
I don't. Why would the creator, if the creator is all perfect, why would he create a male and a female if there wasn't a purpose for it? You know what I mean? So
for procreation.
And so that's my position on it. Now, if your lifestyle, and that's what I think it more comes down to, a lifestyle. And it started out as with the kids. You feel what I'm saying? And I don't think that shit. You know what I mean? My 4-year-old daughter may think she's a damn elephant. Am I supposed to go with that? You know what I mean?
We have someone in the audience that want to ask a question.
Well, actually, I don't want to ask a question. I want to make a comment.
What's that?
I do believe that certain people are born that way. It is a proven fact. How many times, and since we have an RN here, how many times have a person actually had a study done on them to see if they have the extra Y, the extra X chromosome in them, or if they are hermaphrodite but those other body parts have not came? If you have no issues, you would never know.
And I want to add to that. Okay, it is a fact, and y'all can look this up. As an embryo in the womb, around 10 weeks, that's when you distinguish male, female parts and start developing. But everyone starts off as a girl.
Exactly.
Okay.
Everyone starts off as a girl, and then what happens is either like the appendage or anatomy, it will grow outward, and then that's when the penis and the scrotum is formed.
Nature would take its course.
Nature would take its course.
Right.
But sometimes with genetics and DNA, the DNA may have been formatted for XX, which is female.
So
but the anatomy, there was some type of mutation. There was something that took place, and then the appendage grew, but they still have those XX in them.
I'm not arguing anomalies. Right. Anomalies that's in anything you do. I mean, I grow plants. Sometimes a plant may grow as an amorphodite. So I'm not arguing anomalies. You feel what I'm saying? Those are isolated incidents. You feel what I'm saying? But I'm just saying,
but
on a grander scheme, you know what I'm saying? And I understand people feel, you know what I mean, different ways. I get it, but I just, you know what I mean? This is my philosophy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
You basically saying, like, if you look at the overall picture for procreation purposes in the black community,
as a black man,
it could have been forced on us so that it stops our procreation and that kind of thing.
As a black male,
right,
a protector of my community, I see that as an affront.
Right.
Not because there's always been cases of this. There's people that really always, you feel what I'm saying?
Right.
But I just think where we're at now with it, I think it's become weaponized.
And it's been planted and it's been used for genocide from within.
Because if I'm watching something on TV, right? I'm watching something on TV and I'm watching whatever. Some places where they interject this, I know when I'm being propagandized. I know when they're trying to push a point to me, when there's a greater political, you feel what I'm saying? And I see this in a lot of, you can't tell me you don't watch TV and you see this. It's just, and it's just like, what difference does it make if you're gay? If you're a fucking pilot and you can fly this plane across country, I don't give a fuck what you are.
Right.
So, but when you start making that a point to me, then you open it up to me to where I can say, well, I don't think that's, you know what I mean, this and that, you know what I mean? But because I don't need to tell you that I'm straight to damn,
It's
just the
I get it.
Dude, people been gay. Hell, one of the biggest fucking leaders in the civil rights movement. Bayard Rustin. You do the damn thing. It does not take away from
who you
he
are.
is.
Exactly.
I don't feel like this is like I don't push my shit on you. Don't push
it on me.
Okay, I see that. Right.
I feel that yes, there are a lot of children that come into the world already, I'll say altered in what we consider traditional. Mm-hmm. We all have seen a child 2 years old. He's a little boy, but he has pretty features.
Right.
Or that little 5-year-old girl that plays football harder than all
good at it.
Exactly.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So I do believe that it is not a choice for most. So far as saying,
I wouldn't say most. I don't agree with that point.
I say most. I would say 75%. So far as saying what has been pushed onto us, I personally feel sex in general has lost its morale to the point where sex is just sex. It's no longer something that's supposed to be between married couples or lovers. Sex with a female used to be such a highly regarded thing. You got that once you were married. If you're not married, she's got the letter A, she's this, that, and the other thing. But sex became something that was open for, well, if I got a sugar daddy that can do enough for me, or if I want that new Prada this or that, or if I want the mansion on the hill, then I go ahead and make it happen. So that slowly became acceptable. Mm-hmm. Yep. And then now, in our culture, you have so many young black men addicted to drugs, addicted to cash, and everything that comes along with that, until I feel like the media doesn't have to push down this young man's throat that being a homosexual is okay. He may not actually even be homosexual, but if he knows that a homosexual act will allow him to get some studio time, some new Levi's, and a few pair of Timbs under the Christmas tree, then they compromise. So I don't even think it's social media. I think a lot of the issues that we have with culture starts within our community way more before it ever gets that high. That's
that was a mouthful.
It was, and I want to agree. It's a lot of controversial things in our community. Like it's like if you look at it,
we become immoral.
We have
we
so
accept immoral bullshit.
It's like we like, and I go back to what he said. We'll pull out the Bible and we'll say, if we can match it up in here, we can prove it, and it shouldn't be done. It's wrong. It's making you conform and live to what's in this book. But who's to say that you have to? Right. You should be able to live and be whoever you are. And when it comes down to it, when you break down our DNA, you break down everything, we have the same thing that's in the universe that's within us. We have the same genetic makeup, like atoms and same thing. So it's like, when you think about it, how were you actually put together to begin with?
Right.
Because you could have been put together for that purpose, and goes back to what I said, you were somebody before, and you just happen to be preoccupying this body, but really within you, your soul is that gender. Let's be realistic. And then,
So you think souls are gender?
No, well, what I think is whoever you were in your past, when you come back, because like I said, the flesh dies and the soul lives on, and it keeps returning.
I think that is what I think it just comes down to, like, you want me to accept your sexual practices. Mm-hmm. I don't understand the other parts of it. You feel what I'm saying? Because I accept you as a person and this and that, you feel what I'm saying? But if I don't agree with it's okay if I don't agree with
right.
You know what I mean? And I think that's what it comes down to. It's just, you want me to accept I don't care.
Right, you should.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's what I think a lot of because a lot of the fight is, I don't see where gay people dominate Hollywood, gay people dominate the media, gay people dominate, you feel what I'm saying, different areas, and it's just like this extra
right about it, because of what they prefer sexually. It's a problem. It should have nothing to do with it.
I don't think
as a person you accept them for who they are. It should not matter whatsoever. So I got a question though. So since we're talking about the man in the white suit, so your child, let's say your child is a male child. He's like, and wrote on his list for this mystical person, I want a Barbie, I want a car, and I want a house, and you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
that leads me to another question based upon Jamal.
So it's like, okay, he's writing to this mystical person. So like, So I'm really this person. So do I tell him I'm really the
No, you have a conversation to see why he want all that stuff.
I'm the person that's putting this stuff under the tree and had a conversation with them about the real person who's behind this, and plus talk about
what made you want
what
this
you
Barbie.
know, like what tell me what made you want that, kind of get down to the bottom of that.
I'm not that kind of dad. That should be ugly.
But I'm just saying, like, so that makes you have to step on two topics at one time, telling your child the truth and also asking them about them and who they are as a person. Like what so you 5 years old, but
that goes back to what he said. Do they really know what they want at 5 years old, even though they acting it out?
Right?
You know?
They took a 5-year-old, so it's like
so
how do you attack that?
At five,
How do you attack that?
at 5, you're sexually attracted to somebody at 5. And see that's where this is going.
I wasn't saying
that.
that.
That's the problem I have. No, I know you're not.
Right.
That's why this is where this is going. Because when you start giving a child that kind of lead with it, say, well, this child has the position, then sex with a child will be okay next.
Oh no, Jamal.
That's why I said
that's
DNA.
where it's going, because there's no way you could tell me my 4-year-old daughter knows what she wants sexually at this point.
Well, I wouldn't say sexually, but my thing.
What else is it about?
But DNA. It goes,
if you're attracted to another person, what else is that attraction about?
But here's my thing: it's your genetic makeup, it's your DNA. So that goes back to what we said. Like, it's been proven about DNA, about how things. South America, and I wish I could tell you what it is, but there was this whole documentary that once the child is born, the parents.
South
decide.
Africa, they don't have good doctors.
No,
in
I'm saying South America.
They don't. That's even worse.
But let me finish. But something happened in the womb around 10 weeks that's when the gender kind of separates.
Probably no prenatal care.
But listen, let me finish. But it's just singled out to this village. So that's why it's like everybody's connected. So it's something in their genetics. Just those people in that village, it's something in their DNA where it's like the gender gets crossed. Some of the children that they thought were girls were really boys, and then at 13 they start.
The penis
comes forth and grow.
It sounds like they town is near a fucking nuclear site or some shit, and they got some fucking genetic shit going on. And again, you're giving me isolated incidents. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Like this is not. It doesn't make up the whole. These are pocket cases.
It is,
you know
but it's the fact is I'm just trying to prove that it's possible where DNA plays a factor.
And I'm not denying that on that there are anomalies. I'm not denying that. I can see that there are anomalies.
Right.
Just like a child can be born with 2 fucking heads. It happens every once in a while, but it's not the norm. You feel what I'm saying? And that's how I feel about that whole.
But what is the norm now in 2020?
The norm now?
Yeah.
The norm now
is mind your business, as one of the people said. Nowadays, people just don't mind their business. I think when people hear negative comments, they feel as they have to explain themselves, and they're actually living for themselves. Forget everybody else's opinion. Well, but they can't, because people just can't leave it alone.
But here, that comment makes no sense in this form. This is an open. We're here discussing open topics. I mean, but that's what I'm saying, and it shouldn't be a problem that we have differing opinions. God damn it, I'm going to consume it.
You're right. So, like, what would you do? Still didn't say what you gonna do if your child.
Well, let me.
I'll put his ass out. I told you that.
Okay, Tasha want to speak right quick, y'all.
First, I'm gonna get in his mama ass. What have you been doing to this boy?
Wait, let Tasha say something, because I want to say something next after Tasha.
To go back to when he said he doesn't care, what you are, that has nothing to do with him. I believe that as well. That's a two-way street. If you're homosexual, bisexual, lesbian, whatever, I can respect that. You need to respect that I'm not. Now, that's for that. So far as saying, can a 5-year-old know what they want sexually? I personally do not believe the average child is even thinking
about that. I agree with that 100%.
They don't think on the level of actual
sex.
Just know they think of comfortability.
Right. Until some adult says to them,
for some reason,
period.
He's my good friend.
This toy look like it's fun, and I saw somebody playing with it, so I want it.
Preach.
So, now when I have that 5-year-old son, to go off that example that was to say, I want a Barbie doll.
And they think this man in the suit gonna bring it.
I first and foremost am gonna want to know why.
Right.
Right.
Now, that's where my idea of Santa Claus and let him figure it out goes out the window.
That's right.
This is a much more realistic, in my face
the
conversation.
future of your family
So
is at
when my
stake.
5-year-old son asks for a Barbie, I am not going to tell him no, he can't have it. But I am going to tell him that if he at 5 years old can give me an honest understanding of why he's wanting that toy, I will have to give him my honest understanding of why he still can't get it from me. Because while you're 18 years old, you can be asexual for all I care, because there's no difference. That 50-50, you have to respect me, I have to respect you.
Right.
My 5-year-old daughter can't tell me she likes a grown man. My 5-year-old son can't tell me he likes a grown man.
Right.
Because you're 5. You should not be thinking on a level of sex, so it doesn't have anything to do with what type of sexual energy it is you're wanting to project. It's that stay in your 5-year-old place. Now, as you get older, when that 5 turns to 15, you feeling like you're still liking boys? Okay, well, you know what? What you do on your cell phone, what you do at the game, what you do whatever outside of this home, that's your business. When you hit 18 and you choose to leave my home, I will have no control over that. But until you're 18 and I no longer have to support you, I'm going to dress you and provide you with the clothing and the actions and the necessities of a man.
Okay, so, and this is going to take it to another topic. Okay, so going back to that Barbie doll or that Cabbage Patch Kid.
Right.
Okay, so I seen on Facebook. Matter of fact, me and this girl was having a conversation about little boys that play with dolls.
Punks.
No, hear me out now. Our thought was, we used to play with dolls when we were little. Maybe that's why we're so nurturing and caring and know how to take care of things. So why is it so bad for little boys to do it? Maybe that's why they don't know how to be nurturing, more mature than what they are.
That's not the role of a man.
Let me tell you though. I seen on Facebook this girl, and I swear it was the next day. It was a Caucasian. She said her little boy, she just had a baby, and the little boy was playing with a doll. He was rocking him to sleep while she was rocking the real baby to sleep. And she said he's going to be a great dad when he get older. Now, what is wrong with that? I don't think it's nothing wrong with him playing with a doll, because I do think that's going to teach him to be nurturing and know how to love.
That's
And
great.
see, I don't think that either, because when I was younger, we was 10. My cousin that used to come down all the time used to play with our dolls together. And he likes nothing but women all the time. He's a player. So I don't think by playing with a doll or doing doll's hair, nothing is wrong with it. If that's what they want to do, that don't make them gay.
It does not make them gay.
It just, that's what they like. I even heard somebody say, I asked one time, why do you like bracelets and nice little stuff? Because it's pretty. So maybe they gonna want their woman to wear nice, pretty stuff.
That's female stuff. That's what women. That's what, you know what I mean. Like, I wasn't raised like that. Like, I was raised to be a provider.
None of them are.
Okay, now listen, the doll thing or whatever for a little child. Okay, whatever. That's cool. All right, but no. For my son, no, because I'm not gonna start something that I'm not gonna keep up.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? I'm not with that shit. Like, my son, my oldest son now is 22 years old. He's a welder. You understand what I'm saying? He's taking care of his child, and it's because I want to believe that I started him off early on that shit. Like, it ain't no. It ain't no.
So I mean to cut you off before I forget. What about, so you rather your sons play with toy guns and grow up and want to shoot people?
Well, I buy that stuff. You understand what I'm saying?
If you don't want to grow up gangbanging or whatever.
You understand what I'm saying? I buy that stuff, so I don't buy my children guns. I buy my children constructive shit.
But I'm just saying, some people do that.
Some people do a lot of shit. But
Yeah, I must say, when my kids were little, they got the guns, they got the water guns, they got the big things, they got pellet guns, they got BB guns.
I get it.
But I wasn't promoting them to go out there and be gangbanging.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it could be either way. You know, if a boy plays with a doll or does doll hair, doesn't mean they're gonna grow up and be gay. If a boy plays with a gun, don't mean they're gonna grow up and be a gangbanger or something. That's what I'm trying to say.
Because listen, I just bought my son a 30-30 rifle. I believe in guns. I believe in teaching my kids proper gun use. So I don't have no problem with that. And as a little boy, you damn right at 10 years old, you gonna get your first BB gun. You gonna learn how to hunt and kill some shit and all that.
And that's for survival and providing.
Period. Because as a man, that's just how I've been taught. I don't care what the new shit is. You have to be a provider, okay? You have to take care of your house, okay? Whatever they do in their house, good. I don't care what works for them. But in my house, my boy is going to do this. And like she said, when they turn 18, if you want to go get some dick in your ass, haul ass.
Oh,
So,
my.
okay,
You know
what if they turn 18 and they come to you and say, Daddy,
They're
I just
not
want
gonna
to
do
let you... Listen,
They're not.
Daddy, I just want to let you know that I'm gay. How would you handle that?
Or they say they bi.
Or even bisexual. How would you handle that?
If they say they bisexual,
Right.
I'm going to ask them
really
how much does it cost?
What?
You buying some sexual? That's only.
No, bisexual men, they're
Bisexual.
they like women and men.
Right.
I'm not gonna accept that, and I'll tell them.
So
straight
would
to
you
their face.
turn your
I would
back
tell
on
my
your
child, my
children?
son, my
Conversation.
grown son, in his face, nigga, something is wrong with you, and I don't accept that, and I don't deal with that. Period.
So would you
So
go,
you would never talk to him again?
Y'all can't be asking these personal questions.
No.
I mean, it's just...
That's all right.
Oh, okay,
Would
okay.
you go and get some type of test done, maybe DNA, and just kind of see? And goes back to what our audience said. Let's see if he had that extra.
At that point, I
Because you know you say something wrong with him, so you.
I fucked up.
Well, do your proper research.
Well, I heard-
At some point, I fucked up as a man. That's how I
No,
would feel.
no, that's not true,
That's
Jamal.
not true.
No, that's not
The
true.
conversation should actually come way before the age of 18.
Thank you.
Because as we're saying,
Thank you.
you already see traits.
At that doll. At that
So-
motherfucking doll.
Maybe at 5 they were
At that
15.
goddamn
We have
doll.
somebody.
13, 14, 15, you're still seeing your son showing feminine traits.
You condoning
You
this shit at that
already
point.
know something
How?
What do you
maybe
mean how?
different.
If you don't want to say...
So
you
I
know what,
feel
you
like
gonna stop
as
that.
a parent that should love their child regardless, the conversation should be had of what's going on. Now you're saying you're not going to tell your child about Santa Claus. Okay, if my 15-year-old son came to me and told me that he was gay, the same way I'm not going to tell my 15-year-old son that there's a Santa Claus, I'm going to let my 15-year-old son know that, in my opinion, you're still young. The way you feel today may be the way you die. And then again, a year from now, you may feel completely different. You need to really make sure you're looking inside of
You got a
yourself about
responsibility.
what is for you. And you need to realize that whatever you decide is the right thing for you doesn't mean the world is going to accept that. So if you're ready to step out into the world and let it be known, I'm homosexual, bisexual, identify as an old white man, whatever the case may be, just know what's coming behind that.
Right.
And then once that's said, when he hits 18, 25, whatever, well, you can't come to me and get a whole lot of sympathy of, this
Period.
job and co-workers and that. Well, I mean, this
This
you're
is what
trying
it
to-
is.
This is what it is.
So what if they grow up and they just... Okay, they're not gay, but they're a whore. I mean, and everybody talking to them,
Same thing.
talking to them at work.
I'm less
whatever, so-
understanding of that
Any-
because
So
Any-
would you
choose
be
to a
less?
whore.
Is somebody supposed to be less like, okay, it's all right, yeah, don't do this? But
No,
then-
like Tasha said, you choose to be a whore.
Any deviant, anything I perceive as deviant behavior, I don't have no use for.
Well, y'all, I hate to say this, but we only got 5 minutes left. That went by real quick, huh?
Well, let's go. While you're doing that, let's just go back to about this mystical characterization of this Santa Claus person. Because that's our original topic, and the question I asked earlier, like your 5-year-old wrote this on their wish list of Santa for this Barbie, and this little boy, and this car, and this house, like, or your 3-year-old. Maybe you can't write, but somebody wrote it for him. Like, so you like. I know you said how you would tackle the topic. You said, but like, like how would you really tackle the topic? And you were down hard believing that there's a Santa. Like this man comes and bring these things. You don't want to ruin it for them. You want them to keep that going. You know they go to school. Let's say a little daycare, whatever. They have little activities. They think there's a Santa. Want to take pictures with Santa. Sit on Santa's lap. How would you really deal with that? Still, like
Hey,
how? I
Billy,
mean.
Santa gave me a call while I was at work today, and he want to make sure you didn't make a mistake. He said, "You want a doll, baby?"
So you still gonna go along with the mystical character?
If Billy's
and
still young
let
enough
them
to believe
that's
it,
how I
believe
feel.
in that.
And she's my 4-year-old daughter. She'll tell you that's a mystical character. She'll tell you Father Christmas. She called me Father Christmas.
Well,
Because
here's my
that's
next
who I am.
question. Here's my next question. So with this Santa mystical character, and they want to take pictures, and here it is, your 7-year-old
I
little
thought
boy,
about doing that.
your 7-year-old little son want to go to the mall with his mama and sit on this man's lap and take a picture. because he's Santa. What you gonna do then?
He's 7. He wants to sit on the fucking lap of
But it's
Santa
a
and take
man.
picture.
So how would you get what I'm saying? Like I'm
He's
like
7. He's 7 years old.
But
There's nothing sexual going on.
No,
there.
but
this nigga
however,
is
would
thinking
you-
about little cars
we're
and
not
shit
we're
like
not
that.
saying this sexual, but however, like because of how you were saying, like early on with your kids, like how would you really deal with that? Like, are you gonna break it down to them? Like, okay, that's just a person in a costume. That is not who's bringing gifts to you, because you don't want them to think, well, I sat on Santa's lap. I'm gonna sit on
all of this.
I'm gonna sit on Uncle such and such lap, and I'm gonna go to school, and I'm gonna sit on the teacher's lap. It's like, are you creating something?
No.
Somebody from the audience has something to say.
No.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I understand there's two different worlds. People that let their kids believe in Santa and people that don't believe in Santa. Would the ones that don't believe in Santa explain to y'all kids not to tell the other kids that's at school that there's no Santa?
Yes.
Yeah, and I don't teach it in that way because I don't think they learn in that way. As in, all right, well, you gonna go out and start like preaching my manifesto to the other kids in the school. No, I don't even think kids think about it. I think it comes to the house. Like, you know what I mean? That's where that shit is gonna be like, okay, how do you deal with that as far as, you know what I mean? And like, I don't tell my daughter like, oh, there's no Santa and there's no. She's fucking 4. She doesn't perceive in this way yet. You feel what I'm saying?
My thing is, if they talking about it at school, oh Santa, oh my mama said there ain't no Santa.
Right.
Would y'all tell y'all kids, okay, listen, what
Don't
we believe
let
in our
somebody
house
else.
is for us. Don't
And that's again.
Like, because we conduct our
That's to respect the
household
other
a
parents.
different way.
Right.
So,
It goes
like
back to
things
the
that we
teacher that
discuss
got
in our
fired.
home,
I'm not
we
gonna
discuss
do
in
that
our home
because
should stay in our home.
I do.
I'm
I
not
told
gonna do
Cadence
that
do
because
not.
if my 5-year-old is at a level to where they can stand in front of 20 other kids and say, y'all can believe in Santa, but I don't, I'm not gonna cripple
I gotta
what
leave it
you
right there.
have in you to say.
That's not
y'all
crippling.
believe what y'all want to believe.
It would be.
No, it's not.
If
That's
my
just
if my 5-year-old has
sometimes
that
you don't have to
perspective,
say nothing.
Right.
You can be quiet and not say nothing. But they believe. I know what I believe.
Now,
You
when
don't
it's
have to
something
say
you
nothing.
believe strongly on, now that starts to change as you become adults, because I can't sit here and say, well, Freeman, I think instead of wearing these, we should have had. We're adults. Either I wear it or I don't.
Or you don't.
But
That's
now
why I
that
say you
we're
choose
when
wear,
we're
you don't.
children, and it's just still on that level of honest conversation and
Filter,
honest
no
sharing
filter.
of
Oh, I love
opinion.
kids.
Why should I have to tell my child, no, keep what you feel to your... No, if he gonna tell you that it's a Santa Claus, you
And
can
she
tell him
tell
that you
him
don't
it's
believe
not?
because it all goes 50-50.
there you go. Now, like
Yeah.
I said, I don't
I don't
see
agree
my
with that.
child.
Look at that
I don't
perspective.
feel like you have to spoil it for the next just because
I'm not
you know.
spoiling
You're
it
not
for the
spoiling
next,
it, but they're giving you
but-
their view.
Yeah, and
So
I'm
they
gonna give
can't
you
have
mine.
you
go along
and
with it.
dancing in
But
your
they
face.
little people.
And my child is a little person too.
I'm a little person too, and you dancing in my face.
Don't
Oh,
underestimate
Santa,
learned
and I'm
behavior.
like, oh, what's Santa bringing you? Like, oh, Santa this, Santa that. I'm like, well, I just don't believe it's a Santa. And you like, well, I'm just saying you believe what you want, but I just know I believe it ain't.
And I think
And that's
at-
my opinion.
At that small age,
You know.
I think we're talking about a small age.
Right.
Like them kids don't. We putting adult shit into there where I may be wrong. You know what I mean?
Mama teach 3 and 4.
Yeah, because my 4-year-old who says is a fake Santa, when she at school, she go along with it. You know, she don't say, oh, Santa not real, even though she kind of know it's a fake Santa.
Right.
But she don't, like, do that, no.
That's just, I don't,
You
I don't
either
think
teach a child a certain way, you don't, and like
That's it.
we were saying about
How
the
you raise them up.
homosexuality.
Yeah.
If you've got that same 20 kids in class and they're saying, homosexuals are nasty, I don't want that same child that didn't feel it was okay to say, well, I don't think there's a Santa Claus, to say, well, I don't see anything wrong with I'm homosexual. You
I
have
just
a
see it
learned
totally
behavior to a
different.
certain
I see it
extent.
like, for an example, with Cadence. I talked to her. She's 10 years old. I said, look, blah, blah, blah. It ain't real, da, da, da. I said, now, for the little people that believe, you don't have to go saying, guess what? It ain't no Santa. Da. Just let them have that. To me, that's not teaching her to be a follower, or that's just teaching her to say, you know what, they ain't my battle to fight. I ain't got nothing to do with it. Mind your goddamn business at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Everything go back to mind your business.
And it comes back to, like, what is
Now somebody come ask you, you get what I'm saying? Then
That's
yeah.
different, yeah.
Right.
what does the holiday mean for you and your family? Is how that child's going to perceive that shit. So
Right.
Then that's a good way to put it.
If you I'm honest. If you ask my 4-year-old, she gonna say, "Oh, I get to be with my family." She loves family.
Right.
Family,
And that's
family.
what you teaching her.
And
And
so-
that's what it's about.
Right.
And that's what, you know what I mean. So like I said, I don't.
See how this became positive after all of this? It's about family, people. So the last question for a quick 5 minutes.
All right.
when kids are involved, meaning he or she has kids,
Okay.
will you date them?
Say it one more time.
Will we date someone with children?
Basically.
With children?
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I have children.
So I guess like if the guy, let's say he doesn't have children and you have about 3 or 4, do you feel that can be a realistic relationship?
How old
You
are the
think?
kids?
I don't know.
Okay, I have something to say.
This was
now.
just something put in from previous
Ask
discussions.
the audience how old. Let's get an age.
Hey,
for it.
audience, how old are these children that this lady has or this man has?
It shouldn't
Now
matter.
It shouldn't
It
matter.
does. It
even
shouldn't,
though,
but it does.
okay, after me and my husband separated, divorced, or whatever, I always said, because I have 4 children, well 6 now, but 4 at the time.
Right.
I was like, I don't want to date nobody with children, and the reason why.
Wait a minute, before you finish.
I know,
This
even
is
though I
once
had-
you and your husband had the 4, you saying after
After-
this, you ain't want to date nobody with children.
Listen, the reason why.
Drink on that one.
The reason why is I didn't want to have to deal with a baby mama.
Oh my
But
God,
you
Demetria.
I'm just sorry. I'm being honest.
But
That's
you
me.
want- but
So
you
her
want
answer
though.
is no.
But I ended up dating somebody with a lot of kids, and that's who I have my daughters by. So I changed it. But at first I did not want to date anybody with children. But I think it's because y'all made such a big deal one time. So that's why, I mean, that was just my preference at the time. Because I didn't want to deal with drama. Because I didn't have drama. I didn't have drama on my side because mine was disappeared.
But you don't know how they would have
Oh my
perceived.
God.
You don't know how that male perceived it, or whomever. You don't know how they perceive your situation.
I understand.
You know,
that.
so you have to kind of look at it like
Maybe that was selfish. Though.
That was
just me.
very
It was
selfish.
It was.
Not so much as
It was very
selfish.
selfish.
It's
But that's what
a
but that's what I
stereotype.
wanted.
It's a stereotype because
Why do you
I
say
mean,
that?
You say you have 6 children now. Somebody may look at you and say, 6 kids, I ain't got time.
But 2 baby daddies. You get what I'm
Because
saying?
somebody may look at me and say, "Oh, I got 6 baby daddies." No, I only got 2 baby
Right.
daddies, and I was
Stereotype.
married for the 4.
Stereotype. You, to me, with me having 3, and they're all by the same person.
Mhm.
I feel like a lot of men come at me thinking that they need to go ahead and put it on the table that, oh, you know, I'm willing to take care of the kids. My kids don't need taking care
They
of.
don't need you for that.
You're not going to get in my good graces by putting out on the table something that shouldn't be one of the first things you put on the table.
Exactly.
You need to be trying to connect with me
With
first. Don't
me,
worry about them because
exactly.
you're not about to be
Okay,
around them.
look, and I know,
You're not about to
and I gotta
see them
say this
like
right
that.
quick. Somebody showed something to me in my inbox. Okay, so this man wanted to buy her some Jordans, some shoes, right? And he said, you know, hey, love, what size you wear? I want to get you these new J's that came out.
What was she, 22?
I don't know, Jamal.
Fucking J's.
I don't know. Maybe it was some darn red bottom. I don't know. So anyway, she said, what, a 13 and a half, I don't know, in kids. And he was like, what? Instead of getting me, I'd rather my daughter to have the shoes. And he was out. That was a wrap.
Ooh,
That sounds bad.
that sounds
But
horrible.
See, that goes to what you were saying,
That
though.
sounds really bad, but then, okay,
You see
I'm
what I'm
spin
saying?
it around. I wanted to get this guy something for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
If we're on a level to where I can just call you up, text you or whatever, and say, what do you want for Christmas? 9 times out of 10, I'm already
Getting the
planning
kids
on
something
getting the
anyway.
kids something. So for you to say, well, I'd rather my son get, I would, well, does he need some shoes? Well, no, he good. I just rather.
But I mean, what's wrong?
Okay, well, I already got your kids something, or I wasn't trying to get them something. You know, I want to get a kitty gift for the kids. I was gonna put that much money into you. You know,
Okay,
it's
you
you
can
know,
see it
it's
that way.
a lot of
You
different
can
ways to look at it. But I will say, for the most part, that sounds like, oh, I'm glad you're gone. Then.
Yeah,
true.
that's how I took it
That's
when I
way
first
out.
seen it.
Yeah.
And you took it out. What?
I took it as like, well, then I don't need him in my life.
Exactly.
Because he said he didn't want a gift from you?
No, because he said he didn't want to get the daughter the shoes.
Maybe he wanted to spend it on you.
Because
But
he
maybe
did-
y'all
he
didn't
dated
at a
you,
place
right?
yet
He
where
dated
He wanted
you.
to get
really-
me, but when I said I'd rather my
See,
daughter
that's the
have
thing.
it.
Like that's the thing.
But if in that stage,
I mean, if
you
I gotta date your kids, then I don't want to date you.
I was
my
about
thing-
to say that maybe they're at a place where he doesn't feel he has to worry about
The
providing for her
kids.
children.
And that's why I said that's going back to what you
shouldn't be
said.
on the table.
You're dating me,
until-
not my children.
No,
I
that's-
said, in my
That's what she
opinion,
was saying.
you worry about me
Unless
first
you're
and then
serious
the
about
connection
it.
with the
Thank you.
children.
Okay,
But
and-
maybe she's jumping
Baby,
the
that
gun.
baby needed them
That done went out on 2 dates and he's
I tell you
saying,
what,
but I
they
feel
may
like
probably-
we're
I tell
gonna
you
get
what,
some
to kill
Christmas.
it all, well, just give me the money for it, and I'll go get something for myself, and you go get your kids your shoes.
And then he gonna say what you bought yourself.
I
So now you
I didn't get
deceiving
myself
me. Now you-
anything. I ended up buying it for my child.
Well, you knew you was gonna do that in the beginning. Why didn't you just say that?
Well, guess what? Well, if it was a problem how I spent the money, then you didn't want me to have it no way.
And
That's
that's why he
true.
need to be bye-bye.
That's why he.
That's the way I see it.
Yep.
That would
Wow.
that would have killed that whole thing.
Go ahead.
I did get myself something though, but I didn't get myself the shoes.
The
See,
shoes.
and that speaks to a bigger issue though, is that
Go ahead. We want to hear you.
Yeah,
Don't bite your tongue. Bring it.
now.
And let's do
and
a part
that's-
2.
And that's the issue with dating a woman.
We're
with
gonna have a
kids.
part 2.
Like that shit is. Just
We're
like,
gonna have a part 2
No.
dating women with children.
I listen,
What? Or
I'll
men.
admit, I have children. So,
Right.
and
We're
it's
gonna talk about this
because,
on the next
if
segment.
You wouldn't be able to fucking like. It'd be years before you even meet my kids.
Yes, we can all agree to that.
We understand that
So-
point, but if they try, okay, you know when you dating in the first parts, you're trying to impress whomever.
Caught
So
up.
if they ask, okay, what you want, and that's something you want because maybe I ain't got that money.
Right, then get
I
my
don't
kid
feel
in.
like you should be that much like, okay, nah, I'm just done
Well,
with you.
I'm
If
sorry
that's
we
the
have to
case-
cut it off like this, but it looks like this is going to go to a part 2 of dating women or men with children. And we'll be back shortly, and thank you guys for watching. Till next time.